morning, good morning. I am sitting here. I'm very excited today because Stephen and I are having an adventure this afternoon, and actually we are not sure how long that adventure will last, as we're checking into the Fuller Life Villas for an transformational experience. So at any rate, I'm looking forward to seeing some of you getting online. This has been a rather nostalgic week for me, and I'm going to begin with different oils. However, whatever oils and crystals that you have around you that you're choosing to create your special environment, your secure, safe place for healing, please put them around you, and I will now just give you a few little taps on the bowl before we get started. I think it's still just a little bit before the top of the hour. Hahowever, because I'm excited and want to get started right away, I am going to go ahead and start talking. So happy Sunday. I'm so happy to see many of you already here. This has been a week that I thought I would begin with a different blend that gratitude. And part of the reason for the gratitude is that I've been seeing so many beautiful testimonies about Gary Young this past week. And this particular blend was introduced in 2002 along with who knows what other blend. There was one single oil that was introduced that year, and the two blends were including that particular oil, the Believe blend. So I'm sorry, I get emotional because this week we're talking about emotions, and that was 2002 convention when Grand Fir was introduced. It was introduced as Idaho Balsam Fir. Those blends and those oils truly were a turning point of my life. My first major turning point was in 1996 as Stephen began unlocking the emotions. Prior to that time, I had been in a steel cylinder around my heart and around all of my emotions. And I was able to stuff them down very stoically. So it began to be a chipping away process. And how do I know exactly these particular dates? Because I marked them down. That's why journaling, my journal, is something that is so important for us, because we think we will remember things. Gary was always telling us, carry a notebook with you and write it with your hands. Well, I'm not really consistent in doing that now, and I admit it. I am getting better. I have an excuse now because, having hurt my dominant hand, my left hand, I have difficulty writing now. So this tells me, oh, I can just talk into the phone, or I can type into the phone more easily. Not the same thing, but it's still quite effective. So I'm going to start with gratitude. What blends did you choose to have around you for this particular Sunday, this particular session? I talked about tuning into your emotions, because I'm sure that I'm not the only one out there who prefers to look at other things. We can look at other people's issues. It's so much easier than it is to look at our own. And our own emotions, every single thing that is about us, every physical challenge, every emotional, mental, spiritual, is really related to those emotions way back when. So we're going to go through the feelings collection, and I unearthed this. I'm one of these who loves to save lots of boxes and containers. That's my big thing. So as I've been going through things and weeding out things in the past months, I found the original feelings collection. And not only that, not only does it list the oils, it has a cassette tape. And I'm going to find some way to listen to this cassette tape with Gary explaining ways of using these oils, the 12 oils. And we will do that in the coming weeks. Just know that that's still to come. So I guess about 2006 or 7, he whittled it down from the original 12 oils, 12 blends that were in the feelings collection, to the 6 that are there today, the 6 that he felt were absolutely the most important ones. So applications, Gary has given us that many, many times over in different ways, because those of you who knew Gary Young know that he never really did things the same way twice. If something was recorded, we could hold on to that and say, Gary did it this way. However, the next week it may be slightly different. So I'm going to show you how I love to use the 6 blends of the feelings collection. And I encourage you, it can change your life. Gary told us so often, if you will use just 1 drop, there are about 90 drops in each of these little 5 milliliter bottles. And if you will use just 1 drop of each one layered on your body every single day with intent for 30 days, you can even use them 3 times a day, and they will still last you 30 days. It will truly unlock a portion of yourself you may never, ever have dreamed was there. It may give you, as he says, use the blend of valor first. It will give you the courage, the strength, the conviction to move forward. And that's what it takes, that courage, that strength, that empowerment to really choose to make a change. So I'm going to do this, and today is going to be my first day of using these again in a sequence. Now, where do we apply them? Because he changed his ways many times, I'm going to point out wonderful places on the body to apply oils. You can layer your blends in the same place over and over, or you can put them in different places. I personally love to put them on the ears. That's a very quick absorption. I love to apply them over my heart. It feels wonderful to me to apply oils over my heart and to hold my hands over my heart. Around the belly button, around the navel is a great place. Of course, the bottoms of the feet is a wonderful place for absorption. The place that I'm going to use mine today, and that I have found to be extremely profound, is really utilizing a self-neuroauricular technique. That Gary's wonderful technique of the neuroauricular, and to apply these blends one after another, waiting a minute or two as we are focusing on the name of the blend will tell you where your focus might be. And you may be carried to another place, so whatever I'm saying, don't let it distract you in any way. You will be taken to the place that's most important for you. So starting, what am I going to do? I'm going to put 1 drop, and we know Valor Blend takes a long time. I'm going to put it on my fingertips. You can put it on all your fingertips, but I'm going to put it on my fingertips. Then I'll do it and put it in my palms and take a good deep breath and apply it around the rims of the ears. And then I'd like for you to locate, starting right behind the ears, at the base of your skull, doing little circles. Not circles on the skin, but just pressing in a little bit, doing little circles. And whether you're doing them anti-clockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise, the key is to focus. And as you get in toward the middle of the base of your skull, you will feel that soft semicircle, which is right over your brain stem. And if you are going right along with me, oils or not, as you're doing this, you will feel that relaxation as you go around this little circle. And just focus, intend to be empowered, to look within, to tune in to the emotions that you're feeling at this particular moment. I then like to breathe in the oil as I'm focusing on allowing those little molecules to travel wherever they are required to empower me to move forward, to really, really look at these emotions that have been stuffed down for so long. I feel very comforted then putting my hands over my heart. It's not about me, though. It's about you. It's about each one of you and what feels best to you. I also love to put one hand on my forehead and one hand on the back of my skull, closing my eyes, breathing in, and making that intent. And then when you're ready for that next oil now, that next blend, I have put them in the order that I personally love. And you can, whatever order, when we're layering oils, the order is not as, it's not as relevant as the focus, the intent, as we are holding the bottles. I use forgiveness, because to me, the first step on any journey is forgiving ourselves. Forgiving ourselves for what we have done in any situation. Forgiving ourselves for what we have not done. Every single interaction involves what we do and are thinking. So forgiveness is extremely important to me. And that also happens to be the first glyph in the rainbow healing. So it's all about, it's getting things unblocked so we can move to the next step. So I have a brand new bottle of forgiveness here. I'm so excited. That means I used up my old one. So whatever oil you have, whatever blend, if you have the Feelings collection with you right now, please use it. Use whichever blend. And I'm going to once again put it on the tips of my fingers, and I'm going to put it on my ears and go behind my ears, intending to forgive myself. That forgiveness, none of us intentionally does things that we feel are not the appropriate choice. We all make choices every moment of every day. As Stephen loves to say, in the middle of choice is, oh, I see. Oh, I see something in a different way. Forgiveness is all about seeing things in a different way, unblocking the old way of seeing, of perceiving things, and bringing in that new energy, that new perception, and holding it over the heart. So what is the next blend that I choose to use? Well, again, you may find, and I do switch it around from time to time, although this is what I seem to come back to more often than not. And that is to release, to let go of the fears, the beliefs, the attachments to the way we've done things, to physical things, just to let go of the past and allow room. It's like spring cleaning. And this is spring in the Northern Hemisphere. It's a great time for weeding out, weeding the gardens, starting with new seeds. So release those fears, and as you're applying this blend, just intend that those fears and those beliefs, and whether you choose to put them around the base of your skull. This is best done for me when I am seated by myself and I close my eyes. I may have some nice soft music on, but really focusing inward, because this is feelings. These feelings are yours. My feelings are not the same as your feelings, and it doesn't help for you to attempt to adjust to my feelings, because you are the center of your life. You are the star of your life, and uncovering what it is that has been held down for so long, which brings me to the next blend I like to use, and that's inner child. Because every one of us was a child at some point, obviously, and most of us held things in. Well, part of our growing up was learning how to hold things in, how to not express ourselves, to be responsible, to pay more attention to the feelings of others than to ourselves. And most of us feel guilty. I know I feel guilty when I take time for myself. I have to tell you, I'm fighting a little bit of guilt, because instead of answering messages after I finish today, I'm going out to play with Stephen. So I'm feeling a little guilty, which that's something that is the top of my refinement list of things that I will not allow in my life. That guilt, because that's what I kept in my heart for so long. And if I'm speaking to you, then you would understand what I'm saying. Some of you may not have felt that, and that's okay too. It's either that you were one of these lucky people who did not require that. You happen to grow up in a way that you never had that feeling of guilt. However, many of us that did not feel it, it was only because we shielded ourselves. So this is all about breaking down those shields. And it's a little bit at a time. If we do it ripping open things, it might be very, very challenging. Although for some of us, that's the only way we will ever crack that steel cylinder, that shield that we keep around us. So it's all in what is best for you, and you get to decide that. Isn't that exciting? So, however, if you're like cracking an egg, whack, and it's all cracked, that's okay. Or if you're one who, getting into a cold swimming pool, puts in 1 foot at a time, 1 toe, and then moves up to the ankle, and just a little at a time. It's whatever feels right to you. And you may learn that you may find out, as I do, that at different times I respond better to certain things. So, okay, so what's the next one? Well, the next one I use is harmony, because that is what I choose to have in my life, in all aspects of my life, at all time. It's important to open up those wounds of childhood, to really look at them, to understand them, and then to intend harmony. And the single oils that are in this blend, actually 8 of the oils that are the single oils that are in the harmony blends are the oils which anchor the glyphs of the single oils which anchor the glyphs of rainbow healing. So it's all about that harmony and balance. And when we have harmony in our lives on all levels, we have wellness. We are strong physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and we have beautiful, harmonious relationships. I'm wearing today one of the necklaces that I designed that have the glyphs of the harmony hologram, because harmony is what I choose to have in my life. Does that mean that every single moment is harmonious? Of course not. I still have lessons to learn too. We all have lessons to learn. We can just get better and better as we go through our refinement every day and polish off, digging into those emotions, those things that are holding us back just a little bit more. And I didn't apply my harmony. This bottle is almost empty. However, I do have another full one right here. Never be out of harmony. And then the last one is the present time, because all of healing does take place in present time, and so many of us have chosen to spend a lot of our lives either in the future or in the past, rehashing the past. And when we're in the future or in the past, we are missing the opportunities available to us in this present moment. We are missing the lessons that may move us forward, that will move us forward, but we are missing that joy of experiencing this moment. So present time is a key. And that's how I normally will end these 6 blends of the Feelings collection. However, I also choose to use at least one more just because. One of the ones you may choose, some of the blends that are in the original Feelings collection that are not in here, or even newer blends. One of the ones I love to use is Highest Potential, because that is one of my major goals, to reach my highest potential in every moment. And this, I know, was Gary Young's favorite blend. He wore it every single day after it was created. He just doused himself. And that is one of my goals, one of my things that I choose to have in my life, is that I reach my highest potential in every moment. And of course, I may choose to end with a believe shower. So, however you choose to use your blend, you may set up your own feelings collection. Any of the blends of Gary Young's blends can be layered, and they may be the perfect thing for you to use yourself at any given moment. Experiment. And I love to hear your comments, and please message, and I'll hope you have a beautiful, beautiful week this week, and I'll see you next Sunday.